Support for this podcast comes from listeners and St. Alphonsus Health System, a regional network of hospitals, clinics, and care providers. St. Alphonsus offers comprehensive healthcare services to individuals and families throughout the community. More information about services and locations is available at stalphonsus.org.
From Boise State Public Radio, this is The Connector, Idaho Daily News. Good morning. Happy Friday. I'm Troy Oppie. Today is October 17th. This morning, the latest on a search for a new president of Boise State University. A large subdivision plan on the east side of McCall will not get access to the local sewer system. And Treefort has dropped its initial lineup for this coming spring's music festival. But we start this morning with artificial intelligence. Many people who use it, of course, know that it can hallucinate and provide incorrect information. Idaho's Department of Fish and Game is warning hunters not to fall for those hallucinations because it might get them in trouble. Here's Julie Luqueta with more.
The department reports their conservation officers have issued citations to folks who got bad info on permits and hunting dates from AI searches. Fish and Game's Roger Phillips says the department found instances where AI results presented outdated information or pulled figures from proposal documents rather than final policies.
AI isn't all that discriminatory as where it gets its information. It's casting a very wide net and drawing some conclusions that are inaccurate.
Fish and Game also found AI confused Idaho regulations with rules from other states, especially those with similarly named landmarks. Phillips says hunters misled by AI will still receive citations.
We can't have everybody using the excuse of, well, I went online and it said something different.
He says the problem isn't widespread, as most regulars are familiar with hunting and fishing rules, but he recommends avoiding AI results altogether by checking the department's printed booklets or official website directly. Julie Luqueta, Boise State Public Radio News.
A pedestrian hit by a car in the parking lot of the Albertsons location on Fairview and Eagle in Meridian late last month has died of her injuries. The Ada County Coroner's Office identified the victim as 58-year-old Linda Lemester. She was hit by a car September 28th and died October 10th. The coroner's news release indicated the death was accidental. Meridian police are leading the investigation into the incident. A large subdivision planned on the east side of McCall will not get full access to the Payette Lake sewer system. The McCall Star-News reports the Recreational and Wastewater District Board this week denied annexation of a 90-acre portion of development proposed by Pine Creek Ranch and the approximately 360 sewer district connections that would come with it. A separate portion of the now 500-unit proposed development is already within sewer district boundaries. The builder told officials it decreased the number of units proposed, but would allow for up to an additional 110 accessory dwelling units, ADUs. The project could proceed if the developer creates a private wastewater management facility. Boise State University announced previously that the search for the school's next president had yielded good candidates, but not 5 finalist-level candidates who are also willing to be publicly identified. That number is a requirement for the search set in state code. Many candidates don't want their interests publicized as it could jeopardize their current roles. State Board of Education President Kurt Liebig, who's co-chairing the search committee, updated the rest of the board on the status of that search yesterday.
As the search advanced, it became clear that this process deserves more time. This process matters because what's at stake for our students, our community, and to Boise State is just too important to rush.
The search committee is now working with the external consulting firm to assess how to re-engage top candidates. Extending the search allows that process to play out. A state board spokesperson says the search firm has not asked to renegotiate a $155,000 contract. People who buy health insurance coverage through the state's insurance exchange can start shopping for next year's coverage. Open enrollment began at yourhealthidaho.com this week, the first state exchange to open across the country. The site has tools to evaluate plans, tax credits, and more before people make a purchase. But premiums are both higher for 2026, and tax credits for some middle-income earning households are going away. That is expected to dramatically increase costs to most people who purchase their own health insurance coverage. Tax credits are what Democrats say they want Republicans to put back into the federal budget. Open enrollment in Idaho runs through December 15th. Purchasing health insurance after that time isn't possible unless a household has a qualifying life event, like having a child. Treefort Music Festival has announced its initial lineup for the March 2026 events. The first drop includes more than 180 artists. Hundreds more will be announced in the coming months. Flip Turn, Geese, and Magdalena Bay will headline Treefort's initial days, with indie crooner Father John Misty closing out the festival. Some local names include Maddie Zom, McKenna Esteb, and Wes Schlag. Treefort also revealed its two Comedy Fort headliners, Hannibal Buress, who starred in Broad City, and The Eric Andre Show, and wholesome cringe comedian Joe Pera. Tickets go on sale today. Boise State football hosts unbeaten UNLV tomorrow afternoon in Albertson Stadium. The two teams have met for the conference championship each of the last two seasons. The Broncos won both times. UNLV, in fact, has not beaten Boise State since the Broncos joined the Mountain West Conference in 2011. But Boise State coach Spencer Danielson admitted this week the Rebels are a different and better team this year under new head coach Dan Mullen, with impact transfer players at key positions. Danielson said Monday the Broncos' focus has been getting out of the starting blocks when they have the football.
It's a huge point of emphasis for us to grow into starting faster. We got to start faster in our run game, especially. Way too many first down TFLs. Way too many. Can't happen. We can't start a drive on 2nd and 11.
Clearing up offensive penalties, also a point of emphasis this week. Kickoff with UNLV is 1:30 tomorrow. The game is sold out. The telecast is on FS1. Tonight, an exhibition basketball game in Boise, Boise State, and Idaho. Facing off for the 90th time, but the first time in several years. That game at Idaho Central Arena in downtown Boise. Tip-off at 7 o'clock. And that's today's episode of The Connector. I'm Troy Oppie signing off for the weekend. George Prentice is expected back in the host chair for you on Monday. To stay in touch with the news between now and then, you can always visit BoiseStatePublicRadio.org or download the free Boise State Public Radio app. Thanks for listening. Our digital strategy manager is Lacey Daly. Our general manager is Tom Michael. Our news director is Sasha Woodruff. We are listener supported, and thanks for your donations at BoiseStatePublicRadio.org.
The stories don't stop when this podcast does. Boise State Public Radio's Instagram gives you reels, updates, and snapshots from our reporters in the field. Follow Boise State Public Radio on Instagram today.